dropped my hook and eye and I can't find it. I dropped it and I can't find it. I just wanted to film a little intro to this video. I decided to make all my Christmas gifts this year, so I just wanted to document the process. Yeah, so this is the first present that I decided to make, and it took me longer than I thought it was going to, but you know, it'll be okay. Hopefully I've put enough time. I started working on pause. Here's my little crochet guy so far. It's gonna be Shorty from Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So I'm excited to finish him. But I'm basically just gonna show what I'm gonna be making, not like say who it's for. Not that I think anybody in my life will see these videos, but I just wanted to, just in case. I think that's it. We're starting off with a quilted vest. So I started out by cutting out each pattern piece from the quilt. I tried to match up the two the front pieces so that they looked symmetrical on each side. It was okay. It wasn't exactly perfect, but what I was shocked about was how difficult it was to cut through the two layers of the quilt, which obviously because it's a thick quilt, but that really shocked me. I don't know why. But yeah, there's my finished pattern pieces. There they are. Why was that such hard work? It was cutting out the center back, because you gotta cut through two layers of the finished quilt, which is 6 layers, because it's 2 layers of the top fabric, 2 layers of the batting, and then 2 layers of the other side. I sped this up because it was about 7 minutes of me not saying what I was thinking and just going back and forth eating my Hello Pandas and staring at, I don't even remember what I think I was trying to figure out whether or not I was going to use a flat felt seam or not, which I did end up doing. But yeah, this was silence. And then I got to pinning the shoulder seams. I decided to do flat felt seams, so I pinned wrong sides together, and then I'm gonna sew them down, iron them, or press them, and then snip one side and fold the other edge over. I'm so bad at explaining things. This is my first time doing flat fold seams on such a thick fabric, so it was a little bit of a struggle, but I got it done. Before I start though, I'm gonna change my bobbin and thread for just regular white thread. And because I'm working with a very thick quilt, where's my foot? Where's my foot? Where's that big bitch?
Oh, wait a minute. No! Oh, and when you need her most, she vanishes. Are you joking? Where could it have gone? I literally don't have many places to put it. No! No!
It's on! Oh my god! You know, maybe I should use my glasses because it's on my machine already. Can we see her? No, we can't. Ooh. There she is. This is our... I actually don't know what this kind is called, but I believe it has... Let me look again. It does. It has extra feed dogs up here to help push the fabric through at the same time. And it's for chunky fabrics with or a lot of layers. So yeah. Now that I found it, and by found it I mean opened my eyes and looked at my machine, all I have to do is change the thread color, and then I can start doing the flat felled seams on the shoulders. Well, let me plug it in first. Hello. Hello, yes, hello. How are you doing? This year, I intend to be the crafting Santa. I have tried every year, and every year I have started, and I'm like, you know what, I can do everybody's gifts on December, like starting on December 20th and get them all finished. No. What's today? November 11th? We're starting on November 11th, and I'm gonna get it done. Everybody will have the gifts that I thought I was going to give them this year. I just forgot how to thread my machine. Bada bing, bada boom. Get in there. Maybe the light would help. Oh, you know what'd be so cool? I always see people who have the industrial machines. Ooh, that looks like fun. They seem like bulky as heck though. Like I feel like I have nowhere to put it. Okay. Perfect. Everything was so peaceful and perfect, and it was actually going fairly well. It was still difficult, but then disaster struck.
Diesel movies. Gone in 60 seconds.
No! I like to make my life really difficult. I just forgot that there was a pin there. Then I started frantically searching for another needle because I haven't bought needles in a while and I was afraid I didn't have any more heavy duty ones. But I did. Oh my god, can you focus on the nail? Not nail, the pin, the needle. But you know, after I complained for a little bit, I got back to it. I rethreaded my machine with the new needle, and I kept on sewing. Then this is what it looked like by the end of the first night. I stabbed myself with a pin again. The shape was looking okay. Something seemed a little off and I couldn't figure it out. And right about here is when I realized that it kind of looks like a priest's robe, and I think that was just my pajamas. So it's the next day. What a stressful night that was last night. So the quilt was too thick. I broke 2 needles, almost a third, and I thought my machine was gonna break. So I took it off. I decided to do the flat felled seams, and I tried to pull out as much of the inner layer of the quilt that I could so that it wasn't too bulky in the seams. And I tried it on, and the person that I'm giving this to is in fact smaller than me. And I mean, this is big on me. So I had my mom come downstairs. Yeah, like it's swimming on me. And while I want it to be like bigger and flowy, it's going to be too big for them. So I think I'm gonna take 2 inches off of each side. And then but I think I'm gonna cut first so then I could pull more of the stuffing out by the seams so that I don't break any more needles, because I don't have any more heavy duty needles left. So I can't afford to fix it. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. And then for the hem, I was trying to figure out if I wanted to use hem tape instead, but what I decided for the side seams was I have a ton of the quilt left, like ton of it left. So I was thinking about taking like some of these like very long strips of color and using them to cover the side seams. I was also trying to figure out if that would work for the collar so that I can encase. They're almost like a bias tape. And here. So we'll see. I'm going to start though by measuring out the 2. It's probably going to be a little less because then with the seam allowance, it'll end up being 2 inches. Yeah. So if we hold the sides here, that's perfect because it fits tighter on me than I would like it to. But it'd be good for them. And that's with me holding some seam allowance. Okay. This should fit them. I think I'm gonna try to get rid of a little bit of this batting towards this edge so that I don't break a needle in my sewing machine. After removing the batting, I decided to sew the side seams again. And I made sure I did it wrong sides together so I could do a flat felt seam. Then I made sure I ironed out the fabric strips that I was gonna place down. I trimmed the seam allowance and I started pinning the fabric strip down, but then I really started to hate how it looked. So it honestly took me, I think I spent an hour trying to pin this until I decided to just use hem tape to secure it and then stitch over it. I don't know why it took me that long to come to that conclusion. Oh my god, I just left the iron on there. Okay, well, I guess everything turned out okay. But yeah, used hem tape to secure, and then I believe the next step I do is stitch it down. I think I'm gonna show what decorative stitching I decided to use, because I thought that it was going to be like a really prominent thing, and then I found cute lace to put over it, so I end up covering this. But for like a minute, I felt really cool with like decorative stitches. There it is! And then here's the way the decorative stitching ends up. I don't hate it, I just didn't really like it that much. It was okay, it was like eh. And then I decided to use hem tape to kind of do like a rolled hem because I knew that I was gonna add a lace trim around the collar. Then I hand stitched all the lace onto what am I making? A vest. And it like was partially very fun and therapeutic and partially made me want to rip my hair out because I stabbed myself. Like I used a thimble for the first time, but I stabbed myself and it hurt so bad. Oh my goodness, look at my hair. All right, well, I finished sewing on the little lace details, so let me show how my face. There's the collar, and then each of the little side seams are stitched over. The only things that I have left to do, and then this vest is done, is I'm going to use this double fold bias tape on the edges here for both sleeve holes, armholes, and then on the bottom. Then it should just be sewing the buttons on the front. Easy peasy. Hopefully it's as easy as I think. Now, like, not to toot my own horn or anything, but I'm actually very proud of how I completed this because I have never properly, the key word is properly, sewn bias tape before. Like, I have taken bias tape and just like clamped it over the edge of a project before, but I watched tutorials. I watched a lot. I really didn't. I watched like 2 TikToks about how to do it because it is so much more fun when you do things the right way and it actually like turns out decent. And that's what I'm learning. Anyway, but yeah, so that's what I'm doing here. You can see my sewing machine just moving like every time I sew on this project because there was just so much fabric. And oh my god, it was a disaster. And yeah, now I'm doing the same thing to the armholes, but that's basically it. I just had to do the little bias tape. I'm realizing while I'm talking over this, I just kind of yap and I forget where I'm going with these sentences. So if it doesn't make sense, I mean, I'm so sorry. Then I decided to add more hand-stitched details on the the armhole. Now I am in fact using I believe that's an embroidery needle. I just couldn't find my regular needle. It was gone. I could not find it, so I picked that one up. That's me trying to figure out where to place the hook and eye, because that's the next step. I dropped my hook and eye and I can't find it. I dropped it and I can't find it. And again, I used the, not embroidery needle, what am I thinking of? Upholstery needle. And that made sewing the hook and eye a little bit more difficult. I had to watch another tutorial on how to stitch that down because I didn't know if there was like a proper way to do it or if you kind of just like stick it. But I tried to do it properly, and I think I show the final product. Because like that's not bad for my first time. Like that's pretty good. And then here's like the finished closure. Like, okay, not bad. Not bad. I'm trying to hype myself up more. And then because this quilt was old, when I cut it, I didn't realize that it was literally like disintegrating. So I had these little patches, and by patches, I mean they used to be old socks that I cut up and made patches out of because they were worn down and I wasn't wearing them. So I made them into little patches and I put them over the holes. I first laid down hem tape so that it was sturdy, and then I stitched back over it just because I had a fear that it was gonna rip again, but it didn't. And look how cute that puppy is. And now I'm showing the details on the inside and I'm showing why I decided to use a flat felled seam, because I wanted it to look really clean and crisp on the inside. The only thing you can see are the decorative stitches from the other side, and then in the front all you see is that colored like panel and the lace. And then here is the final product. Now this is not the outfit I would wear with it. I had just gotten home from work and I wanted to like show what it looked like. I wish I turned around more, but now I'm showing the nice side seams. Look at that. And then I'm showing the detailing on the side. Look at that. Use those fingers, do it. And personally, I like it better not hooked, and I feel like that's how this person will also wear it. And I feel like right now my outfit is throwing me off on why I don't like it. Because I really do, I should have done it with a different outfit. I don't know how to pose for reveals. Oh my god, is that how I went to work today? This is not my favorite hairstyle that I've done. Anyway, so yeah, that was this project. I'm gonna get working on my other ones. But I do have an update on my little killer clown from outer space. Pause. I had to get this off. Then I gotta wrap it. But I did order some, what am I thinking of? Tags to go on the inside. I hope they're the right size. But here's what he looks like. So he kind of looks really like stupid. But I love him. It's supposed to be shorty. It doesn't really look like him. The other girls, like the pattern I bought, really does look like him. His head shape's off in the one I made. But you know, I think it's his mouth. His mouth isn't supposed to curve up like that. But also his hair's not on yet, so. Looks like I dropped him on his head. Anyway. That's it. Hopefully the person that I made this for doesn't figure out that it's them. But if they do, I don't know, like good luck, Charlie, I don't know.